The Phantom rides again.
Who the hell is the Phantom?
We're going to talk about all that and more because it's time for DCTV Recap. Hello and welcome to DCTV Recap. I'm Jason Inman.
And I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
This is the recap show that normally during the year we recap Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, but those shows aren't on the air right now. So now we're just going to talk about stuff related to those shows. That's right, just because it's the summer and there's repeats on the air doesn't mean that this show gets to repeat.
Doesn't mean that we're not making new content.
Yeah, we're like in a coal mine constantly producing coal.
Yes.
Speaking of coal, Ashley, there
Jason.
was some Legends of Tomorrow news
Was
that
there?
Broke out today. Titanic and Twin Peaks star Billy Zane has joined the cast of DC Legends of Tomorrow for a season 3 episode in which he will play P.T. Barnum. Now, this is not the first time that Billy Zane and Victor Garber have shared screen time together. They starred together in the movie called, do you know the movie?
No.
Titanic.
Well, I've never seen Titanic.
Billy Zane's kind of the villain of Titanic.
Well, I've never seen Titanic.
And Victor Garber's sort of the father of Titanic.
I don't know if I've
Of the
honestly ever seen Billy Zane in anything.
There's a funny joke. Billy Zane is a recurring character in the first Zoolander movie.
Sure.
And they sort of like make jokes about like how he's so amazing. Anyways, Billy Zane, if you don't know who Billy Zane is, he was a wonderkind of the 90s. He was like he blew up. Huge. He's actually a pretty good actor. He's actually pretty good. And he had a couple of big screen blockbusters that really flopped hard and kind of killed his entire career. And he's still around. He still acts in things.
Yeah.
But he's not the like ginormous like Brad Pitt sized star that he was in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's kind of become this like sort of joke. People are like, oh, Billy Zane. You know, anyways. The best thing that I think about this is that we constantly complain that a big problem about Legends Season 2 was that every guest star they had to play a historical figure sucked.
With the exception of like 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know of Tolkien.
He was great.
And then, I don't know, George Lucas was okay.
He was okay.
So, yeah, but most of them were like, the guy that played Grant was terrible, the guy that played Washington was terrible. But anyways, the showrunner of Legends of Tomorrow said, obviously we couldn't resist putting Victor Garber and Billy Zane back on the screen for the first time since the Titanic, and I'm not sure people know how funny Billy is, and that's why we cast him as P.T. Barnum, because we knew that he would be able to find the soul beneath the larger-than-life showman. I hope this sets a trend that Legends of Tomorrow going forward starts casting some sort of names in roles, and that led us to a question. Ashley, I asked you to come to the show prepared with stuff. Did you come prepared?
I did.
Did you bring notes?
No.
PowerPoint presentation?
No. I've never made a PowerPoint presentation.
That's what people on MySpace use. Anyways, so the question is, and feel free to answer this down in the comments, what kind of known actor, not unknown actor, would you like to see guest star as a historical figure, or it doesn't have to be a name historical figure, like you could say Caveman number 3, on Legends of Tomorrow? Who? What?
They don't. The Caveman number 3.
Yeah, Caveman
really?
number 3.
We're gonna take like okay.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor, Caveman number 3, because he's doing TV now. Anyways,
everyone's doing TV now.
Everyone's doing TV. It's not a thing anymore. So the question I said is, what known actor, what name actor, or at least a name we would recognize, or you can explain to us that we will recognize, would you love to see in a future episode of Legends Tomorrow? And what character should they play, or what time period or is their episode set? What are your choices?
So I actually have like 2 choices.
Interesting. You went above and beyond.
One, it's not for Legends of Tomorrow, but it was actually the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
I really want Elijah Wood to be on Legends of Tomorrow.
He also does TV?
He does TV. He did all of Wilfred. And, you know, Elijah Wood's kind of a smaller gentleman.
Oh, man, I think I know where you're going with this.
I don't think you do.
All right, let's see this.
Which is why he played the Hobbit. And I think that he played Frodo. I think that you can use that to your advantage. And Legends has done criminally wrong by many of their American figures.
Okay.
That we've seen. They've done good by some of the Brits, so that was great. And I think it would be a nice tie back to the Tolkien episode. I think he should play teenage Teddy Roosevelt. Pre him getting all big and buff and scary presidential.
Elijah Wood?
Yeah. And you can see Because he had an illness, and then that's what
I've read a lot about Teddy Roosevelt. That's why she said
it made him into the outdoorsman that he is. And I think that maybe an encounter with the Legends would be a really interesting and probably funny way to bolster that. Like if he really looks up to Heatwave, so he's like, I'm gonna be that macho,
It's a very
and that's
interesting
how
choice.
I'll lead the world.
Now, can I in the same episode, can we jump to the future of Teddy Roosevelt?
And he's played by Nick Offerman.
And he's played by Nick Offerman.
Yes. Because I know Elijah Wood is in his 30s now, but he still looks like he's 14.
All right, that's an interesting. Okay, that's. Remind me once you finish your second choice of when you said Elijah Wood, where I thought you were going.
Okay, so when you asked me this question, I initially thought of stunt casting, and we haven't seen anyone really besides Indigo from the Smallville class come into it.
Oh yeah, because I can't. Laura Vandervoort.
Yes, who was the original
who was
Supergirl.
Supergirl. She played Indigo.
And a lot of people want to talk about Tom Welling, and a lot of people wanted Tom Welling to come back, and I'm very anti-Tom Welling coming to Supergirl. However, I finally found the place for Tom Welling in Supergirl and in the DCTV universe.
Okay.
You need Tom Welling, and you also need Erica Durance, who played Lois Lane, and they should play Jor-El and Laura. Because we've only seen Jor-El and Laura in the opening sequences. Now, we have seen their statues, but they don't super look like people.
Yeah.
They're very stylized.
I think we've only seen Zor-El, Kara's father. Yeah, we've only seen Jor-El and Lara as statues.
No, you see them in the opening sequence.
Oh, do you?
You see them holding baby cow.
Oh, but that could have been
anybody. It is so
anybody.
far away,
Yeah.
you can't. I checked before I came on the show to talk about it. You can't hardly tell who they are. And I think that would be
I don't know what that was.
Supergirl and Flash does a really great job at the fan service casting. And thinking about that came to mind as well. So
that's an intriguing choice. Okay, so you put them on Supergirl, not Legends though, as that role?
would put them on Supergirl
Because they could go back in time and talk to Krypton.
But it's not the same Earth.
Doesn't matter.
They can be in the 4-part, 5-part, 6-part crossover.
The 18-part crossover.
We can go back in time and talk to Jor-El, Laura, and another Kellix.
When you when you first started saying your choice and you said Elijah Wood, I thought you were gonna make a case for Elijah Wood and who played Sam?
Sean Astin.
And Sean Astin as the Wright brothers.
Oh, I never would have thought about that.
As soon as you
That's great.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, is she gonna say the Wright brothers?
I was really trying to work Vigo in there, but he doesn't do TV.
No, the only reason my head is in the Wright brothers is because my choice is around that same time historically.
Tell me.
Okay, so my actress is on TV right now in a show. And it's an FX show, so I think that she would be very amenable to coming over to CW and doing like a 5-6 day stint.
Yeah.
Also, I think she really, really looks like this historical figure a lot, and also this would be a fun thing to do, just like Legends did with Moonstruck, where they kind of solved a historical mystery and put their own little spin on it. My actress is Carrie Coon of Fargo season 3 and The Leftovers. An amazing actress. I want to see her play Amelia Earhart.
I knew you were going to say that the minute you said her. She does. She does look like Amelia
So
Earhart.
you have the team somehow accidentally bump into her, and she's there for the episode or whatever, and then for some reason they can't let her go back.
Oh, so they're the reason why she disappears.
So the Legends are the reason why Amelia Earhart poof.
That's cool.
And goes away. And then you can set it up to say we park her in the future somewhere. We can go and visit her. She can show up again.
I love that. I love more Carrie Coon on television.
And she really looks like Amelia Earhart.
She does. She's even got the same haircut.
And I think she's a great actress, and I think she would realistically end up on the show. She could easily do that
I agree.
show.
I definitely agree.
All right, great. So let's go into the comments from last week, guys. The video last week, Black Adam appearing on Legends Tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff. The comments got pretty heated for stupid reasons, but I picked the good comments, so don't worry.
Yay.
Superby1 said, do you think we'll ever see the Hawks again? What do you think, Ashley?
I'm of two minds. I think it's unlikely.
Really?
Unless there's a large event coming up.
Okay.
Fall Kenchel just got cast in a giant movie.
Hawkgirl is in Master of None Season 2.
So he's going to be tied up. I would really love to see Hawkman again. And that's the end of my statement. I don't want Hawkgirl to come back.
Oh, so you want Hawkman to come back?
Yeah, I want more Hawkman all the time. I thought he was really great. I thought he made really interesting choices. I liked him. I could do without Hawkgirl ever coming back.
I think it depends on how long Legends runs. There's a little bit of a rumor out there that a lot of people think that Legends is going to end at season 3 for some reason. I think they're going to keep that show going as long as the ratings are good.
I mean, have you watched the CW?
Yeah.
They run stuff into the
Supernatural
ground.
season 15?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I don't know.
Good Lord. But I think what they'll do is, I think season 4 of Legends or season 5 of Legends, they might pull the Hawks back as sort of like, let's look back at the past, you know, because kind of like the Arrow model.
Yeah, and you might see around that same time, you might see more cast members leaving. That's what's great about Legends is more than any other show, you can have a revolving cast.
And originally they were going to do that.
Yeah.
And then they said they kind of fell in love with the cast and they kept them.
I'm glad they did keep them because we got to see some really interesting things in the second season.
I agree. But I think there are a couple of people that could leave the show at the end of the season.
I agree.
And we could change it up some more.
Yeah, we'll see.
Gerald J. Frazier said, I think we're long overdue for a Supergirl Flash charity foot race crossover. Think that's coming next season? Question mark.
We already did we did a foot race between them.
No, but I think he's like for charity. Like they did in the comic books, there was this long-standing thing where Superman and the Flash would like race every once in a while, and they do it for charity. They already did the foot race in the Invasion, which was a very nice moment. But
they did it before that as well. In the first time Supergirl and the Flash met.
So they've done it in every Supergirl Flash crossover.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the odds are probably pretty good. The one hamper to this happening, I think, is because they're on different Earths.
They're not going to tell us who won, ever.
No.
If that's the thing you're looking for, because we've always just, like, they've sped off into the distance and that's been it.
Or one of them will give up for a certain reason.
Yes.
Yeah, and then technically we don't know who wins.
I mean, I like the idea of them doing it for a charity. The question is, like, would you make it a real charity or would it be like the victims of the Zod attack?
You know, actually, if you see a charity foot race on any of these shows, I think it's going to be on Flash, and it's going to be between Flash and Kid Flash.
That's funny because I really think it would be on Supergirl because Supergirl's had a lot of like politically and socially motivated storylines.
Oh, you think it'd be a Superman Supergirl?
No, I could see it being a Flash Supergirl crossover on Supergirl, and we could say that the money's going to like the ACL. Like if it's on Supergirl, it'll be a real charity.
Like ACLU. Or
yeah,
something.
if it's on something like Flash or
the
Legends.
Daxamite Damage Fund.
Yeah, it'll be something like I don't know, Earth 19 car wash fund. I don't know, something silly.
That's
like
very
that.
generous of Earth 39 giving to Earth 19. Well done.
Well, we
right.
all love Earth 19.
Tidy88 said, will the CW ever be brave enough to make Green Lantern Hal Jordan appear on one of the shows? He isn't getting a movie anytime soon and has technically appeared on Arrow already. Now, he is referring to
the bomber jacket.
Yeah, episode 1 of season 4 of Arrow. Oliver briefly went to Coast City. Why, I have no idea because it didn't pay off at all. And there was a bomber jacket that said Jordan in a bar. So technically, he does exist in this universe somewhere.
There could be many Jordans. It could be his dad.
We've also seen Ferris Air several times.
mentioned as well.
And mentioned as well.
You are never going to get a Green Lantern on the CW.
I don't know.
And if you are, it's not going to be Hal. It's not going to be Jon Stewart. It's probably not going to be Guy. It'll be Simon or Jessica. It'll be one of the newer ones.
Interesting, you think?
I do, because I think, I definitely think they're saving Hal for a movie. Whether or not it's already been, whether or not we know about it, DC and WB internally, they know all of the things that they have planned. There's no way, especially with the current crop of people in charge of DC movies, that we're not getting Green Lantern at some point.
Yeah.
And I think that, traditionally, if someone is going to be in a movie, they like them to debut there and then bring them over into the...
Yeah.
I just think it's an expensive effect.
Well, here's what I was going to say. I actually do think that there is a chance you'll see Hal Jordan. I feel very strongly we will never see a Green Lantern. Because the Hal Jordan thing is kind of like what you could do with Barry Allen. And again, we have a Flash in the movie universe. We have a Flash in the TV universe. We now have a Superman in the TV universe. We have a Superman in the I actually, it's the most interesting thing is I think the two characters that are the most like off limits are Wonder Woman and Batman. I agree. I think those are the two that will never cross over. I think we could see Hal Jordan. I think if we do see Hal Jordan, it'll be in one episode, but he won't be Green Lantern. He'll be
Sure.
he'll be like a pilot.
Yeah, but and then that's not interesting. I also don't care
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Hal Jordan, so I don't really care if he shows up.
But I could see your theory of a Jessica Cruz or a Simon Baz showing up before Hal.
Television would
Yeah.
also be a great place to park Kyle Rayner, who I
Yep.
don't think is likely to appear in a movie, but I think is a really tremendous character.
I think Kyle will be in Green Lantern Corps.
I hope so.
I think he will be. Omar Alenizi
Nailed it.
said, "Will we ever see the JSA again?" Yes.
Yes.
Will we ever see the Accelerated Man in action? Yes. Okay. All right. Next question. Colin Prime said, "Jawiin, seen as the Thinker is a Wally West villain, do you think Wally will be the Flash all throughout season 4? Grant Gustin is filming a movie, so it seems to me that he wouldn't be available to film any episodes of The Flash, so I think it's possible." Okay, now he is I didn't know what he was talking about, Cullen Prime. Thank you for the comment. I looked it up. Grant Gustin is filming a movie right now.
The Flash is not shooting right now.
That's
guys.
true. It's actually called The Last Full Measure. It's a pretty big movie. I don't know how big his part is. Because Sebastian Stan's in this movie, and also
lucky.
Samuel Jackson is in this movie, and Bradley Whitford from The West Wing, if you're a West Wing fan.
I mean, next to that lineup, he probably has a supporting role, a smaller part.
I think he's in a couple scenes. I think he picked to do this movie because it's in his break.
Exactly.
They will not keep Barry Allen, the main character of the show, off the sidelines. I'm actually very surprised. Because I've seen this comment all over the internet that everybody thinks that Wally's going to be the Flash for the entirety of next season.
I'm just going to say that I would love that. Not
gonna happen.
Wally's my Flash. I think Keenan Lonsdale is tremendous as both the speedster and the civilian identity. The way the Flash works, we'll be lucky if Wally is the Flash for like a half an episode.
Oh, Wally stays in his Kid Flash costume.
But he might be called the Flash.
Sure. Barry comes back in one episode.
Yeah, he comes back like 10 minutes into the premiere. Or what'll happen is he'll stay Kid Flash and he'll bring Jesse over to help him.
Interesting. Yep.
Because he doesn't think that he's, worthy of whatever. Yeah, no. Grant Gustin's going to be around. They don't start shooting until either right before or right after Comic-Con.
They shoot right after Comic-Con. Or they'll shoot... They start shooting in July.
Yeah.
So they'll either start right before Comic-Con, because they always take Comic-Con week off.
They all come to Comic-Con.
Or right after Comic-Con. Usually, the last couple years, they shot 2 episodes before Comic-Con, but Comic-Con's a week earlier this year, so I think they're going to shoot 1 episode.
And just in case anyone out there doesn't know, like, typical film production, between now and then is plenty of time to shoot someone out of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Grant could easily be wrapped by that time, so I don't think it's likely. I would love it. It's unlikely.
It's not going to happen, but thank you for those comments. And I thought we had some really great comments. Ashley, please do me a favor. Go grab that book that's right on that table right there.
I can do that.
We had some really great comments, and we want to see more of them. So I'm going to tell you what. We want to keep DCTV recap going. Of course, we're going to do it every week. And the comments are like my favorite part of this. So we're going to pick what we think next week on this video. Comment below on this video. Give us questions, discussion points just like these. Very interesting, intriguing conversations that can expand and go far. The best comment underneath this video, guess what? We're going to choose it in next week's video, and I'm going to send you a trade paperback of Martian Manhunter Volume 2. It collects Martian Manhunter number 7 through 12 and Justice League of America number 5. This is a really good series.
Get that Eddie Barrows art.
It's really good. This is one of Martian Manhunter doesn't have many good series. This is one of his few. So the best comment that we choose for next week that we think is the most engaging and intriguing and interesting, I'm going to send you this
trade paperback.
This trade paperback for free. And that is, I have to limit it though, guys, to the United States and Canada. So I'm sorry, my foreign watchers. I've tried to send packages in the past like this, and like sending this could cost me like $50.
Shipping gets expensive if we have to pay for it.
Only in Canada and only America. But if you wanted to submit a comment anyway, guys, we can still pick it. We can still talk about it. It's all good. We want your discussion, and the best comment gets Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
So head on down to those comments, and while you're down there, click subscribe.
And why not click on one of the videos that's popped up on the screen? And for more exclusive geeky content, go to patreon.com/Jawiin.
We'll see you next week, and don't forget to check out our Flash and Arrow videos that also happened this week. See you later, friends.